Today we're going to be talking about gear modification. Now what is gear modification? For me, it's changing an item to suit your needs or be more efficient. Now it's a rarity that I go to a store and find something that fits my needs ideally. There's always one or two things I could change about it to make it that much better. It may need to be a little bit lighter. It may need to be a little bit sharper. It may need to be a little more ergonomic. So I take it to my shop and I change it to fit my needs. And I'd love to see more of that on YouTube. I've watched a lot of videos, and I've seen a lot of people buy things and just not be happy with it because of one or two little minor changes they could have made on their own. So today I'm going to show you some of the things I'm going to be doing and have done to change something to my needs. Today the items on the workbench happen to be cutting implements, so I'll just show you guys some things that I have done and will do to these items. So first we'll talk about this Buck 110. And I apologize if it looks kind of weird in here. It is 20 degrees outside. It's been 30 below. But this has been the first day I've been able to get out to the shop. Anyway, I wanted to change. I wanted a more ergonomic, more locking in my hand version of a Buck 110. Now this is the Alaskan Guide model. It has S30V steel. So it's a little higher end than your normal Buck 110. Now I wanted thumb detents, so I milled out the brass so my hand can sit on there perfectly. I did add some jimping to it. I added a thumb stud. I wanted it sharper, so I put one of my edges on it. Now I am going to change out the wood on this, so I put my last name there just to try it out with the wood burner, but that'll eventually get changed. And I made something that wasn't perfectly ideal at first, very usable and suitable to my needs. So let me set that one aside. This Benchmade right here, it's been a lightweight fixed blade for a long time. It's been heavily used. I will re-profile the edge today. And I wanted to make it lighter even though it is already super lightweight. I wanted it sub 2 ounces. So I took it to the drill press, and underneath these rosewood handles, I milled out little 3/8 holes. So it made it, like 1.8 ounces. Definitely very light for a little fixed blade that I'm going to turn into a neck knife. And I will make a sheath for that here soon. Now sometimes the gear I'm looking for isn't readily available, or it's too expensive for me to buy. So I go out to my shop and I make certain things. Like I'm working on a couple knives today. I wanted a bird and trout knife for one of my packs. So I've got this drilled out to accept some handle scales, and I'm going to put some 3/8 holes right here in this back area. This is pretty cool. It's 500 layer Damascus. It's going to be a very sweet bird and trout knife when I'm done with it, and it'll look great. Then I'm modifying some old knives of mine that I've made. This one is the Legend knife. I'm going to put a great finish on it, kind of like a ghostly gray. Something that just looks really cool. And you can see I got a lot of the residue on there from the different wheels I've been using in the compounds. I try to make the handle scales of my Carta a little bit thinner, just so it feels a lot more comfortable in my hand. Now this is S35 VN steel, so it's already high end. And I think when I finish with this, it's probably going to just stay in my pack. It'll be very awesome when I'm done. But I've got a lot of things to do to it still. Now we'll get to today's current project that I'm going to show you guys in the video. This is a Grand Force Brux Wildlife Hatchet. One of the best hatchets you can buy on the market. But one thing a lot of people notice and are disappointed in is the fit and finish of Grand Force axes. Now, they are functional, but some people don't like the finishes on it. And you can see it looks kind of chopped up, like it was unfinished, but this has no effect on the quality. I mean, they have great fit, but the finish could use some work. And there's a few things I want to get out of this axe that, I don't have right now. Right now this is kind of a rounded edge. You can see all those little indentions for the impurities in the metal. I'm going to take this over to my wheel, or my belt, and I'm going to make this so it's a complete flat 90-degree angle on this, so I can throw a lot of sparks off a fire still. So let me take you over there. I'm back here at the belt grinder ready to get started. Let me just show you one more time what I'm going to change. I don't want that rough texture, and I also want sharper edges so I can throw sparks off a fire still. So let's go ahead and get started here. This is about 120 grit belt. So I'm going to take it very smoothly and very lightly through here. I do not want to ruin the temper. But as you see, as I start moving it, it's going to take off the high spots first. You can see a little more of that. You can see how deep some of this pitting is. Now this pitting is not from rust, it's just from how the metal was formed. And I'm going to take it down so it's nice and shiny. And I will be dipping it in snow as a way to cool it down. Because the last thing you ever want to do is ruin the temper on any of your cutting implements. For those of you who want a belt grinding lesson, you can kind of see what I'm doing. You cool it down almost every time you take a pass. And that'll keep it from ever changing. You can see the steam coming off that. Starting to get a little warm. But the snow does the job. It's really interesting to see how much spark this stack sends off. Because you can really tell how high carbon it is. Alright guys, that's where I'm at right now. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video and finish this real quick. Well, my work here today is finished. I got everything done to this axe I'm going to do to it today. I gave it a better edge. It bites like crazy. Here's a piece of paper just to show you. As an axe, it's like a razor. I also got that back all done nicely and square. It'll shower sparks and it'll get me a fire in a heartbeat. I decided to leave the black stuff on the sides because really, it has no functionality. It may keep a little rust off, but other than that, it's just a cool look, so I decided to keep it. Now I will oil this handle when I get back inside. I will oil the sheath. Anyway guys, that's my gear modification video for today. Share some things with me that you guys have modified. I'd love to hear them. I'd love to get some tips and tricks if you have any. Rate, comment, subscribe guys. This is Legend and I'll talk to you guys later.